Hi, everyone. Today is March the 7th, and this is the Moneyball Morning Report for the Benzinga Pro platform. My name is Anne-Marie Band, and as a quick reminder, remember that I will be completely out of pocket tomorrow, so we will have no update, no new charts, and certainly no videos, as well as our midday Zoom that we normally do for members. Not happening today. So here's what we've got going on. Same sort of price action spaces. This one, resistance now becomes our 35 area, right? Our support line still stays 50.66 into the end of the week. And range support here is 51.16. That was me stifling a hiccup. Sorry about that. All right. So I'm doing this without the technical indicators because I want us to see actual price action unfolding in terms of where we go and then what happens, and where we go and then what happens. And so we can see that we really are range bound as we wait for the news. We've got Fed Powell speaking again today, Fed Chair Powell speaking again today, and then tomorrow we have the employment numbers. Fed Powell was typical with his word salad yesterday, non-committal and staying data dependent. And so what we have to say is the market sniffing out anything that might or might not be on the horizon? And so my suspicion is that it's still all about what happens at the rate meeting. And so expansions into higher price are going to bring back retracement levels. All right. Same lines as yesterday. Here is clean resistance. Okay. A breakout of resistance that becomes support for one day. And now 1, 2, this is the third day. We're sitting here at this 51.32. Sellers are going to try and come in. It is a key area. If they break, we will move back up into this area, and we're likely to get a new high. So we want to be extremely conscious of that. Here's the corresponding SPY. Same thing, folks. Have not changed a single line today. 1, 2, third line of resistance. 512 is the resistance edge. I felt 512 and some change. Support, I'm going to leave it at that 507. All right. That is the key intraday motion that could bring us back down into this area. This is a messy formation. It is not a flag pattern. We are making lower highs, but we're making higher lows. So it's a little bit of a pennant, and pennants generally break in the direction of the pole. And so let's take a look at that all-time high at, 514, 515. If we move up there, remember, there are going to be a lot of sellers up here. If they break north, they're going to have to buy to cover, and that could give us a case of the zoomies. All right. So for those of you who do not have dogs, you're not going to know what that means, but I don't have a dog. I just have a child who has a dog. I have a couple of kids who have dogs, actually, but one of them in particular, he's a very big dog. And so when he has the zoomies, all kinds of crazy happens. All right. So let's take a look at the NQ. The NQ, again, showing more weakness than the other patterns, right? Here is one flag, and here is another flag, and then here is a break of that flag. So let's put that flag in very quickly, and you're going to see it comes right into the body of this other space right here. Here we have one more flag, right? Breaks. So we have flags, and then all of a sudden this mess, which looks very sideways to me. Tesla is having trouble. Apple is having trouble. A lot of movers and shakers. Amazon not screaming higher. Nothing, even Meta and Microsoft not zooming forward as before. And then we have the rest of the complex. We could be seeing some kind of data rotation. As a matter of fact, go to FinViz for quick. FinViz for our imagery. Let's go to groups. Tech, that was yesterday, week. Basic materials for the week, really expanding. Communication services right on the bottom there. And who else is moving? Energy moving up. Utilities yesterday moving up. For the week, utilities are moving up. For the month, they're still at the bottom of the pack, but communication services, again, Google getting completely smashed by whatever. I guess it's, I don't know, maybe it's whatever its AI is or whatever. But take a look. Tesla, Microsoft, Apple, Google, Meta doing okay. But this is the reason, right? These have been the powerhouses moving the price action. All right. So there we have it. Let's look at the corresponding Qs. Same sort of thing. Qs look a little stronger than the NQ, to be sure. That's me taking a sip of my coffee for the morning. Support action. I'm still going to leave 433. That's the support zone. Resistance, I'm going to make 446 for a windup in case it happens. Congested support, 437. But no big lines. Again, flag pattern, break, returns into the flag and bouncing. So traders are trying to recover. Listen, this is an upward trending formation. So dip buyers are going to continually come in until these major trend lines are broken. And so where might that be? What do I mean by broken? I mean broken and not immediately recovered. Okay? It takes a while for price action to resolve in a specific way. It's not all V-bottoms and sunshine and rainbows from a great big perspective. All right, let's go to the RTY very quickly. Same sort of thing. Take a look. We've got the same kinds of levels. I am moving. Do I want to move that? No, I want to move this one out. Remove. Okay, and potentially what we have in its place is this congestion top that might give us a problem at 2086. That's potentially our resistance zone. I'll be in flight when the job numbers come out, so when I land, I'll be able to see what's going on. But there's a big flag pattern. This one still looks pretty bullish, but I think the traders are just going to some place where they think things are going to catch fire, and they absolutely might not. Let's go to the YM. I traded the YM yesterday pretty poorly. I knew that it was going to fade off of that high, but I got into the trade a little bit too early, and so it jammed me up a little bit, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Today, hopefully, I'll do a better job at waiting for resistance to show its head if I want to short it, or watching support confirm. So the big numbers I'm looking for today are the 620s and the 39,000s. Okay? Those are the regions that I'm going to say, that's where I'm going to initiate a short, or that's where I'm going to initiate a long, and everything else is going to be a scalp pattern. Notice this flag. This has a very specific looking flag pattern that the other instruments do not have, right? This is definitively a flag coming in to test deeper support action. This was just a big messy bit of nothing, range-based formation actually. And so that range is still going to be a key zone that we watch. My thought is, that's the range that we're looking for. And so I'm going to try and get involved there. All right, let's take a look at the CL. Beauty. This one, again, big pattern inside, but take a look at how many sellers are up here, folks. This thing gets up to 850 and it's good night, Irene. Okay, just jammed. However, we are making higher lows, and I'm going to borrow. Nope, it's not going to let me do that. Boo. I'll leave this where it is. This midline is telling me if I come into these areas, I'm going to find buyers. Higher lows still sitting in the midst of everything. I'm going to move this beast down maybe to here at the 78.50 zone, 78.30. And we'll see what happens from there, right? The 30s and the 80s, these round numbers into the midpoints like 78.30, 78.80, those sorts of things. Those are numbers in oil that tend to show their faces up quite a bit. Buy the dip, still in focus. These lines, really a big deal. Pre-market resistance still at that 79.30. Notice if it breaks north, we're going to have a bunch of sellers having to cover, and it could drive itself all the way back up there. Buy the dip is the formation. Coming into where it's sitting right now, we should see buyers. If we lose 78.40, I say wait for 78 to try to go long. Lastly, let's see if they've moved gold. Holy smokes. Wow. This is, folks, I'm going to tell you something. Something is going on inside of the currency markets that we cannot see. And this move, I just read an article last night that said this move here in gold is 5 standard deviations away from the VWAP. Let's go here and see if they're actually telling us things that we should know, or they're just, let's put these indicators. All right, so now just holding on the edge of that, if we had a weekly VWAP or some other VWAP that's calibrated, we might see this 5 standard deviation move. To me, this just looks like breakout trending formation. Here's the thing though. Do you see how it's sitting in the top of the volatility bands? That's how you know you buy the dip. If it's never breaking the VWAP, buy the dip. If you go, Anne-Marie, I don't know which dip to buy the VWAP. That's what it's telling us to do at this juncture. If it breaks the VWAP, get out of Dodge. That's simple as simple does. This thing is a runaway freight train, and I'm going to guess that Bitcoin is the same. Stalling out at the 67,000. I think the high is like 70 or something like that. Yep, right up there. Interesting times, folks. I want you to be careful. And I'll see you on the platforms. Again, you can see me on the Place Your Trades Network. You can see me on Topstep TV. Of course, you can see me engaging with the Benzinga Pro platform and the Benzinga team. And here's to a great day. Stay alert and don't trade size.